Welcome to our channel. You won't believe the incredible stories behind some of America's most valuable pennies. These tiny coins have secrets worth more than gold, and today, we're uncovering them all. So, stick around and get ready to discover hidden treasures hiding in the smallest places. Wait. Just wait. Don't skip this penny. This tiny coin could change everything. You've probably walked past 100 of them today, maybe even dropped one and didn't bother picking it up. But what if I told you that one specific penny, one rare, almost mythical version of a coin minted in 1984, could be worth a small fortune? This is not some made-up story. It's not a collector's fantasy. It's real. And it's one of the most fascinating modern coin errors hiding in plain sight. Today's first coin isn't made of gold. It's not shining with diamonds. It's small, plain, copper-colored, and so common it's practically invisible. The 1984 D. Lincoln penny. Billions were made. It was just another year, another run of coins. The Denver Mint produced over 5 billion of them, more than enough for every person on Earth. A number so huge, the thought of any single coin being special seems impossible. But sometimes, even the most ordinary things carry a secret. Something goes wrong at the mint. A machine slips. A die misaligns. And out comes an error, not a flaw, but a fascinating mistake. A collector's dream. A rare fingerprint in a world of perfection. That's what happened with a tiny handful of 1984 D pennies. Most were just fine, business as usual. But a few came out different. One die, during production, was struck incorrectly. It created a unique and unmistakable doubling effect. That's when the magic happened. This rare coin features what's known as a double die obverse. It's when part of the design is duplicated during the striking process. On this coin, the doubling is clear. Sharp. Not the blurry shadows you see with worn dies. We're talking bold, clean doubling that you can see with a magnifying glass, and sometimes even with the naked eye if you know exactly where to look. The most obvious place. Lincoln's ear. And yes, we're serious. If you spot a second ear behind the first, a strong, ghost-like impression, you could be looking at one of the rarest error pennies of the decade. It's become known among collectors as the double-ear penny. Sounds silly? Maybe. But to coin hunters, it's no joke. But it doesn't stop there. This error also causes subtle doubling in other places, in the motto, "In God We Trust," the word, liberty, and even the date. When that kind of doubling appears across multiple areas of the coin, and especially when it's strong and well-defined, it's not just any error. It's a key variety. A star among pennies. Think about how this happens. A single faulty die out of thousands, used briefly before being replaced. Only a few coins struck before the mistake was caught, or worse, never noticed. And those few coins, those survivors, slipped into circulation with no fanfare. No announcement. Just quietly released into the world, where they were spent, pocketed, lost, and forgotten. Until now. Finding one of these coins today is like finding a lost page from history. Not because of what it's made of, it's still just copper-plated zinc, but because of what it represents. A moment of error that escaped the machine. A tiny crack in the armor of perfection. A rare piece of modern American numismatic history. And here's where it gets even better. Not only is this error extremely rare, but the value skyrockets when the coin is in excellent condition. If it has that original red shine, if the details are crisp, the surface is clean, no scratches, no discoloration, then you're talking serious money. Because in the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. Combine that with demand, visual appeal, and a dramatic story, and you've got a recipe for a truly valuable coin. Now, most 1984 D pennies. They're worth 1 cent. Maybe a few dollars in uncirculated condition. That's it. But this one, the double die variety, is a whole different story. It's like finding a misprinted stamp, or a baseball card with a rare error. Collectors aren't just interested, they're obsessed. Even better, this particular error isn't well known among casual collectors. That means your chances of finding one in the wild, in a forgotten jar, in inherited coins, in your pocket, are higher than you'd think. Most people don't even look closely at their change. But now you know. And knowledge gives you an edge. Imagine this. You're sifting through coins. You see a 1984 D penny. You almost toss it aside. But something catches your eye. A strange doubling. A second ear. Your heart skips a beat. Could it be the one? You grab a magnifier. You study the details. You compare it to known examples. Everything matches. This isn't just another coin. This is something extraordinary. A piece of American minting history. And suddenly, that 1-cent coin isn't worth just 1 cent anymore. Because if you're holding the right 1984 D double die penny, in excellent, well-preserved condition, you're not holding pocket change. You're holding a coin that could fetch up to $70,000. Up next, we're stepping into the year 2000, a year of Y2K panic, new beginnings, and unknowingly, one of the most unexpected penny errors in recent memory. This isn't about age or silver content, it's about precision, oversight, and a rare design detail that transforms a regular coin into a modern treasure. At first glance, the 2000 penny looks completely normal. You've probably handled hundreds of them without thinking twice. It has the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, like so many coins before it. But beneath that familiar surface lies a surprising variation, one that's nearly invisible until you know exactly what to look for. You see, somewhere during the minting process that year, a quiet mistake happened. It wasn't dramatic or messy. It was clean. Subtle. Almost elegant in its error. A reverse die meant strictly for proof coins, the highly polished, never meant for circulation kind, was accidentally used on regular circulation pennies. And the result? A very specific kind of design that simply shouldn't exist on a regular coin. It's known as the 2000 White AM penny. And for collectors, those 3 letters, A and M, are everything. On most pennies minted in 2000 for circulation, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are printed close together, nearly touching. That was the standard. That's how it was supposed to be. But not on this one. On the wide AM version, there's a noticeable gap between the letters, a design that was only intended for proof coins, not the everyday kind. And that tiny difference, that seemingly minor spacing error, is what sets this coin apart from billions of others. It's the kind of mistake no one notices, until it becomes priceless. What makes the 2000 White AM penny so special is that it wasn't a damaged coin. It wasn't misstruck or broken. It was too perfect, created using the wrong die, yes, but struck cleanly, precisely, and then quietly released into the world with no warning, no label, and no fanfare. It wasn't meant to happen. But it did. And only a limited number made it into circulation before the error was discovered and corrected. That makes this coin not only rare, but incredibly difficult to find. Most are already lost in drawers, mixed into piggy banks, or worn down in circulation to the point where the wide AM becomes hard to identify. But a few still remain, and they're being hunted every day. Collectors all over the country now examine every 2000 penny they find, checking for that telltale spacing. Some use magnifying glasses. Some use digital microscopes. Because the truth is, that one tiny gap could lead to a life-changing find. And it's not just about the error. Condition plays a huge role here too. A 2000 White AM penny that's been circulated heavily or scratched loses value fast. But if you find one that's sharp, lustrous, and well-preserved, with strong definition and that clean white AM gap, then you're holding something truly special. This coin's beauty lies in its subtlety. There are no flashy mistakes here, just a quiet difference that only the trained eye can catch. That's what makes it so satisfying to find. It's a perfect storm of rarity, quality, and mystery. A stealth treasure hiding in plain sight, with no fancy colors, no oversized features, no gimmicks. Just a small design shift that changes everything. Even more fascinating is how little attention this coin received for years. It went unnoticed by the public, ignored by casual collectors, and overlooked by people who had no idea what they were holding. And because of that, these coins are still out there, tucked away, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what they're looking for. Imagine the moment you spot it. You flip over a 2000 penny and something looks off. You tilt it in the light, compare the A and the M, and suddenly your heart starts racing. Could this be the one? Now imagine that coin in your hand, flawless, untouched, shining just like the day it was minted. You hold your breath, realizing you found something most people will never even see. That's when everything changes. That's when a common penny becomes a rare piece of history. That's when a tiny design detail becomes a doorway to opportunity. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for. The value. If you're lucky enough to find a 2000 wide AM penny in brilliant uncirculated condition, with all the right characteristics, and no signs of damage, the value of that single coin can reach as high as $42,000. Yes. A 1-cent coin with a mistake so quiet, yet so valuable, it can be worth $42,000 to the right collector. That's not some far-off dream. That's the reality of rare coin errors. It's a reminder that not all treasures are hidden in safes or buried in the ground. Some are sitting quietly in your change, waiting to be recognized. So the next time you're handed a penny, especially one from the year 2000, pause. Flip it over. Look closely at America. That small space might just be your biggest discovery yet. Now let's explore one of the most fascinating mint errors of recent times, the 2007 D. Lincoln penny that's been quietly turning heads in the coin collecting world. You might think a penny is just a penny, common, overlooked, almost invisible in your pocket. But what if I told you there's a version of this tiny coin that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? That's exactly what happened with this unusual error coin. The year 2007 seemed like any other at the Denver Mint. Millions upon millions of pennies were struck, featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. But, as is often the case with the mint, sometimes the most incredible stories come from the smallest details, or mistakes. This particular penny isn't just your everyday coin. It's a minting anomaly that happened deep within the mint's massive machinery, an error so rare that it's become one of the most sought-after modern penny errors. Here's what happened. During production, a small number of pennies were struck on the wrong blanks. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc planchets used for pennies, these were struck on golden-colored dollar coin blanks. That's right, the penny design was stamped onto a planchet meant for a completely different coin, the US dollar coin. This mix-up sounds like something out of a mint worker's worst nightmare. How could such a mistake happen? Well, the US Mint handles the production of multiple coins at once, including pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and dollars. The planchets for these coins are often stored and transported together. In the chaos of high-speed minting, an occasional blank can end up in the wrong place. Normally, quality control catches these errors early. But sometimes, a few slip through and enter circulation. What makes the 2007 D. Lincoln penny error so remarkable is the combination of familiar and unfamiliar elements. You see Lincoln's face, but the coin feels heavier and thicker. The usual reddish-brown copper shine is replaced by a yellow-golden hue, a telltale sign of the dollar coin blank underneath. To the casual eye, it may look like a normal penny. But to a collector, this contrast is striking. The rarity of this coin is staggering. Considering the vast millions of pennies minted every year, only a handful of these error coins are known to exist. This makes it an incredibly elusive find for collectors. It's estimated that maybe only a few dozen or fewer have survived outside of the mint. And it's not just about rarity. The condition of these coins dramatically impacts their value. Many were found after circulating for some time, resulting in wear and scratches that reduce their appeal. But when you find one in crisp, well-preserved condition, with sharp details and the unmistakable golden color, it becomes a true prize. Collectors today are on the lookout for these coins, carefully examining pennies for the weight, color, and thickness that don't belong. They might weigh suspect coins on precision scales or study them under magnification, looking for subtle clues. The quest is intense, driven by the promise of discovering something extraordinary amid the mundane. This coin also represents a fascinating glimpse into the minting process itself, a reminder that even in an age of advanced technology and quality controls, human and mechanical errors remain possible. And sometimes, those errors become history. In fact, this 2007 D. Lincoln penny error has become a symbol of unexpected value. It challenges our perceptions of worth, reminding us that even the most common object can suddenly become priceless under the right circumstances. Imagine how thrilling it would be to stumble upon one of these rare coins, to hold in your hand a small piece of numismatic history that few have ever seen. It's not just about the monetary value, but the story, the mystery, and the wonder behind it. So what is this coin really worth? How much can one of these rare errors fetch today? The answer will surprise you. The value of a genuine 2007 D. Lincoln penny struck on a dollar coin blank can reach as high as $35,000. It's an incredible testament to how rarity, error, and story can elevate something so humble to extraordinary heights. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who occasionally picks up coins, this penny stands as a powerful reminder to always look closer. That forgotten coin in your pocket, that loose change on your desk, you never know which one might be hiding a secret worth a fortune. Sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures come in the smallest, most unassuming packages. It's easy to overlook these tiny pieces of metal, but every coin has a story to tell. Some stories are simple, others are rare, and a few are downright astonishing. The 2007 D. Lincoln penny error is one of those stories, a perfect example of how a small mistake can turn into something priceless. So the next time you're handling pennies, take a moment. Don't just glance and toss them aside. Examine them closely. Feel their weight. Look for that unusual golden glow or anything that feels different from the rest. Because you just might be holding one of the rarest minting mistakes ever made, a coin that can truly change a life. Remember, rarity isn't just about age or metal. Sometimes, it's about a moment frozen in time, an accident of minting that connects history, art, and chance in one small coin. If you find one, you're not just holding money. You're holding a piece of history, a story that collectors dream of, and a potential fortune. Moving on to the 2015 D. 1-cent penny, on the surface, it looks just like any other penny you might find jingling in your pocket or scattered across a countertop. But don't be fooled by its ordinary appearance. This coin holds a fascinating secret, one that has quietly made it one of the most talked about and valuable pennies in recent years. The design itself is classic, Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile on the front, a design that's graced pennies for over a century, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a symbol of American history and pride. Millions of these pennies were minted at the Denver Mint in 2015, making it a very common coin. However, among this vast number of ordinary pennies, there exists a rare subset that stands apart because of a subtle but crucial minting error. This error isn't something that immediately jumps out at you like an off-center strike or a double die. Instead, it's far more elusive, a minute difference in the coin striking, the quality, or some detail that might easily go unnoticed unless you know exactly what to look for. This subtle flaw makes the 2015 D penny a sort of hidden gem, a coin that could easily slip through the hands of the casual collector but spark excitement in the hearts of those who know its rarity. What collectors have discovered is that some 2015 D pennies were struck with an unusual level of detail and precision that's not typical for regular circulation coins. The metal may appear crisper, the lines of Lincoln's profile sharper, or the lettering on the reverse more pronounced. These small variations suggest that these coins came from a limited batch or were produced during a very specific moment in the minting process when conditions aligned just right, creating a coin with qualities far superior to the vast majority of pennies struck that year. But rarity alone doesn't tell the whole story. Condition is everything in the coin collecting world, and this penny is no exception. Pennies, being so common and often tossed around in pockets and purses, tend to show signs of wear very quickly. The most valuable examples of the 2015 D penny are those that have been carefully preserved, coins that still maintain their original sharpness, their lustrous finish, and the crisp details that make them stand out from worn or damaged counterparts. Imagine the thrill of stumbling upon such a coin, a penny that looks new despite its age, glowing with an almost untouched beauty. That feeling is what drives collectors to search through countless coins, hoping to find a rare piece like this. The 2015 D penny represents more than just monetary value, it represents a connection to a specific moment in minting history, a rare chance occurrence that creates something extraordinary. What makes this coin especially exciting is the way it challenges our perceptions. We're so used to thinking of pennies as the smallest, least valuable form of currency that we rarely consider them worthy of close inspection. But coins like the 2015 D penny prove that even the most humble coins can surprise us. They remind us that treasures can be hidden in the most common places, even in a pocketful of pennies. The story of this penny is also a testament to the meticulous work done behind the scenes at the mint. Every day, countless coins are produced with exacting standards, but occasionally, a tiny inconsistency slips through quality control, turning a routine penny into a rare collector's dream. This makes finding such a coin feel like uncovering a secret only a few will ever know. Although we won't disclose an exact price here today, it's important to understand that the 2015 D penny is regarded by collectors as one of the most valuable modern pennies, a coin that can be worth significantly more than its face value depending on its condition and the presence of that rare error. So the next time you find yourself sorting through change, pause for a moment. Don't just let those pennies slip through your fingers. Examine them closely. Look for anything that stands out, a shine that's different, a detail that's sharper, a color that seems unusual. Because you could be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in circulation. This coin serves as a perfect reminder that the smallest objects can hold the biggest surprises. That a single penny, often overlooked, can carry a story of minting rarity and exceptional value. If you're a collector or simply someone who appreciates the stories behind everyday objects, keep an eye out for this special penny. It's a fascinating example of how a small variation can turn an ordinary coin into a coveted collectible, one that could be worth holding onto rather than spending. In the world of coin collecting, the tiniest details can make all the difference, and the 2015 D penny is a shining example of that truth. It's a small piece of history, waiting quietly in circulation, reminding us that sometimes, fortune hides in the least expected places. Even though it looks like just another penny, this coin carries the potential to change the way you see everyday money. So next time you find a handful of pennies, take a closer look, your treasure might be right there, waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare pennies and want to uncover more hidden treasures from the world of coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an exciting find. Thanks so much for watching and being part of our growing community of coin enthusiasts. Your support truly means the world to us, and it helps us keep bringing you amazing content. We've got plenty more fascinating stories coming your way, so stay tuned.